Why not become an independent scholar? And what do I mean by that? When people think of academics, they usually think of universities. And you might think of your bachelor's degree, master's degree, doctorate degree. Once you have the PhD, you can show people that and they'll know how clever you are. But there are some issues with the university system. And I think that personally, you don't necessarily have to go to a university or even pursue a higher degree in order to lead an academic life. One of the problems about university is that you might be forced to learn from teachers that you don't really care for. Because if you go to a university, you only have access to the professors at that university. And there are also requirements about the classes you have to take. So you might have to take a class that is only taught by one professor that may not even be that good at his or her job. So if you are an independent scholar, you are free from the university system. And that means you can learn from who you want to learn. You can go onto the internet and take courses. And then once you've accumulated your own knowledge, you can then go and teach others and get paid the amount of money that is worth for that knowledge. If you become a professor and go to university, your income is capped by the university. It doesn't matter really so much how great you are, how many students you're able to pull in. You still have kind of a set number of classes, set number of students, and you get paid a set amount based on what the university dictates. One of the other great things about not teaching in a university is you get to skip the whole process of students who may not necessarily even care about learning or wanting to get the knowledge that you're teaching, but they'll still come and fight you over grades. They'll still try to get a higher grade even though they scored poorly on the test. So one great example of this is, of course, Professor Arguez. Professor Arguez used to be a professor at some universities around the world, in Korea, in the Middle East. But now he is just a professor at his own language academy where he offers courses and students can come and take classes with him. And I think this is really great because he gets to charge the amount of money that he wants to charge, and he gets to teach what he wants to teach. He doesn't have to teach anything he doesn't want to, and he doesn't have to grade. He doesn't have to worry about students fighting him over grades. Me personally, I just have a bachelor's degree. I went to Middlebury College. Although I was very into academics in high school, I was accepted at a few Ivy League schools. I think I'm probably on a very short list of people who got accepted to both Middlebury College and Dartmouth, but chose Middlebury over Dartmouth. I feel like most of the people I met at Middlebury were trying to go for Dartmouth, but couldn't make it and ended up at Middlebury. But anyway, I like to think that I'm into academics, but I don't have a master's degree, I don't have a doctorate degree, and I don't really plan on ever getting these degrees either. I never really plan on getting a PhD because it's not going to do anything for me. I would rather study what I want to study, which is every day I study 8 languages at least, and I'm happy to do that. And something that I've done that's been productive recently is, as you saw in my last video, I created a book that teaches Swedish, Norwegian, and Danish at the same time. So I was able to take my knowledge of languages and my interest and my love for languages and create a product, which is a book that I can give out to people and which I can sell. I didn't really make it for money. It was more that was the book that I would have wanted at the beginning of studying those languages. And I couldn't believe no one had made the book. So I had to make it and distribute it to everyone else who wants it. But it is a financial endeavor. I do make a little bit of money from it, and that's great. It's always great to make some money, in my mind at least. So I don't think there's a problem if you want to go to university and get a higher degree. You might need a higher degree if you want to go into certain professions. For example, if you want to be a data analyst, you might have to get a master's degree so that you're qualified for the job. Or if you want to become a professor at a university even, you probably need a PhD. But I want to impress upon you that maybe you're someone who doesn't have the opportunity to go to university. Maybe you don't have enough money. Maybe you're older and you're in a time of your life where you can't just get up and go to a university and take classes and give up your life for that. And in that case, I would encourage you to become an independent scholar and study the things that you want to study and seek out the teachers online that you want to learn from and find the course materials that you want to use for your own studies. You can still be into academics without necessarily being at a university. And I think that's a wonderful thing, is if you can live a life of the mind and be into academic rigor without necessarily going to college or university. You can still do it on your own time, at your own house, with the materials and teachers that you want for only the subjects that you want. And hey, if in some time in the future you want to write a book or you want to make your own class or you want to take on students and teach, you can do that too. You don't necessarily need a college or university to do that. So that's it. I encourage you to become an independent scholar like myself, and happy studying.